the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
But they still were very proud foundational Black Americans in that they stood for something. And that was a story that was always repeated to me, is that there is a debt that is owed. And I really, really hope that we are able to get something going and really just to stop talking about it. And I think that this next election is going to be very telling.
Powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
May I interject something?
Most definitely. Gary.
I was listening to the great attorney, Johnnie Cochran's video earlier today. He was working on getting reparations for FBAs before he died. And Johnnie Cochran said that there is no way that America could have been as successful as it is right now without the 247 to 300 years of free labor that it got from our ancestors. And a lot of people are suspicious of his death. I was hearing that, I'm here in LA, he was out here in LA with me. And a lot of people are thinking that maybe that's the reason why he died the way that he did. It was kind of mysterious in a way. Some people say that he was done for him because Johnnie Cochran never lost a case that he worked on, seriously.
Mm-hmm. Right.
In my opinion, he was like the greatest lawyer ever, not just the greatest criminal lawyer.
Yeah.
Because he said that he considered his work as a calling from God.
Right.
And that's why he wanted to become you know about him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. Gary, do you feel like that is something that is missing when it comes to us getting those kind of bills and stuff, passed? We are missing good lawyers, attorneys.
Yes. We don't have anybody. We don't have anybody like Johnnie Cochran. He wasn't really concerned about he came from the South too. He came from Louisiana, Shreveport, and then he moved to LA. And he went. And his heart was right, and his father was right. Johnnie Cochran Sr. He was very in tune to the people, and he felt it his mission to do what's right. He took cases. I'm kind of getting off the subject a little bit, but he got started.
It's good.
Yeah.
You're doing good, Gary.
Okay, he was taking cases against the LAPD when nobody else would take it, and he was winning.
Yeah,
because everybody was scared. I'm out here in Watts where the Watts riots happened, and all of this stuff went down. He was winning cases against LAPD when people were scared to take those cases. He said his calling was a calling from God to serve his people and do well. And so he had the reparations on his back burner, and he was working on that. So his death was very untimely because look what he did with the famous case was the OJ case, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Everybody thought that, but everybody thought that was an open and shut case because all the evidence pointed against OJ. Mm-hmm. But he had that gift of looking into things and breaking them down. And whenever he took on something, he always won. Mm-hmm. And even all of the white lawyers, they respected him. So a lot of people think they took him out because he was working on reparations for us. And I was looking. Oh, go ahead. I'll step back for a minute.
No, just please send me that video when you get time because I want to look at that video, create some content around that video because that's important that he was fighting for reparations. I feel like that's very informational, though, Gary. I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay, brother. Oh, and also I want to say this. It seems like a lot of what they would call tethers, people that are not fully connected as foundational Black Americans, they have a lot of hate for us. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to see us to advance and move. And they just, in their cultures, they're taught to hate foundational Black Americans, and we've never done anything wrong to them. Like Johnnie Cochran, he's from our lineage. We only want to serve and help people most of the time, too. We learn that they're like doing something to undermine us or working against us. And I'm finding that a lot of foreigners or people who have foreign backgrounds similar to Westmore, the guy from Florida, and the Congressman Ilhan Omar from Somali, they tend to want to, for some reason, undermine us and to attack us and work against whatever we do. But when they get in trouble, you know who they call on?
Us.
They call on us because we have a success record. There's something within us because we're so tied to the land. you know, and America's, and we don't, our culture is not based in lies. We prefer the truth. Most other cultures, and even Caribbean cultures, African cultures, and I know Somalian culture, they're based on scams and lies.
Yeah.
We look down on that. So I think that we have a blessing from God to look at the truth. I remember when Jesus he was sending out his disciples, and he said, "Continue in my words and what his precepts." And he says, "And you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." We honor the truth, and a lot of cultures around the world don't honor the truth because sometimes it's hard to look at the truth. And I just want to thank God for you guys. I'm going to land my plane and listen to the program off the air.
No,
God bless you all.
I want to see if
go ahead.
Tiffany got a rebuttal to you, because I got a question.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want to see if she has anything she want to say to you, because I got a question I want to ask both of y'all, because both presented some things to me that made me think about leadership in this country. But do you have anything to say back to him, Tiffany?
I wanted to say thank you for putting that on the table and reminding us about it, because I do believe that a big hindrance is us mobilizing when it comes to the legality of things. Every time something happens, I don't know if it's just a propaganda or not, but it's always we're pushed out there with the Benjamin Crump, right? Back in the day, it was the Al Sharpton, it was the Jesse Jackson, it was this, it was that. And then we have these terms, African American. No, let's just be Black, right? But I do like the foundational part, because we have set a foundation for America, and like you said, we have a source, and if for whatever reason if we all just left, right, just up and left, and we went to our own planet or whatever the case might be, it would not survive. Like, I don't think any place in the world would survive without the foundational Black American, right? And and so I just wanted to point that out. And I don't want to lump Westmore, and I don't want to believe that, because he has this immigration background, that would be his reasoning for wanting to thwart anything that comes on his desk in regards to, tangibles, right? But it is something to ponder, right? And and also when we look at what's happening in Minnesota, and it's crazy, because it's like they could put out so many different things and say so many different things and put Black people into this corner and into this box. But as soon as something goes down, they calling Black people to march, to say something. Well, what y'all got to say about it? And that's why I said this next election, if you believe it at all, I think it's just going to be really telling. And this is the time I want to see. I want to be a part of that change. I want to, and I'm going to be a voice that say, hey, like, we're not going to continue to do the marching. What did he say? I think I marked the timestamp, what Westmore said, because he'll get on these different platforms and he'll say all this different stuff, and it sounds good. And I'm like, but what did you really say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why the
This is the first time that I heard him say, hey, if something comes across my desk and it's written up XYZ, yeah, okay. Well, let's do it then. Let's see if we can use the state of Maryland as a example.
Can I add on right quick to what Tiffany said to her before you ask me the question?
Please add on, please. We chilling.
Okay. No, I think that West is somebody's letting him know you're losing the FBA vote. You better get on there and do some PR if you want to stay in office. And I think that's what's going on with him. But I think within his heart, the way that he was raised from his Caribbean background, there's some kind of vitriol in there against Foundation of Black Americans. For some reason, our hearts, a lot of times when you the best, you get what they call haters, right?
Mhm.
That might be one of our haters, like with Byron Daniels and even with Ilhan Omar. She was always saying she wasn't black. And Trev, I read the last program we were talking about that.
Yeah.
They were always talking about they're not black, they're Arab, they're African. And it was about maybe 2 months ago we were talking about that. When they started talking about deporting her a couple of months ago, she started trying to say she was black. Now she's always black.
Yeah.
Because they got her hanging, man. I mean, from what I understand, they've already deported like some 5,000 people from Minnesota, from her city, and they're constantly taking them down. And they said that they sent like 200 agents into that city, and they're not there for nothing. And they said people are locking themselves in a house, and she's talking about she ain't going nowhere. She's already committed immigration fraud. She married her brother.
Yeah.
They had grounds to deport her, but it was always hate against her, with her and the others that are what I call tethers that do a lot of wrong things about us because they be lying on us.
But I know, but this is the thing, and this is what I say, where they think that we sleeping, but we wide awake, right? Even when it came to this whole thing about like the sanctuary cities, and even Maryland was a sanctuary city, and that was a big thing because they know that the tide is changing, and you just can't think that you're gonna get the black vote and not do anything. But if we allow for these immigrants and we give them these little carrots and these little caveats, then they will vote how we want them to, because who is really implementing ID checks? It was very telling in this last election, specifically in the state of Maryland. And the ballot really had no choices. It was either you're voting Democrat. The only big Republican candidate was the president. That was it. And that was in the state of Maryland. And I just kept looking at the ballot like, this is crazy. You had no other choices. I've never seen anything like that before.
That is crazy. That's real crazy. The question I wanted to pose to both of y'all, though, is that when I look around the country and I see the leadership around the country, it's really not that many foundational Black Americans. Like, is Mayor Bass out in LA foundational Black American?
No, she's Cuban.
Is Brandon Jennings in Chicago foundational Black American?
Jamaican.
He's Jamaican.
I didn't know that.
It's none of us in leadership.
Right.
Really, to be honest with you, I don't see us in leadership. And then when an individual get in leadership, it's like he's selling us out or something. Why is that? So I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if y'all know, but why is the what Gary say, the tethers getting the opportunity to be in leadership? Are they being obedient to some sort of structure or something that can get them in position, or do they know how to sell themselves in a way that seems as if they are leaders or whatever? It's
maybe because they know they won't go hard, because they don't have that they don't have the soil, and they don't have that history of building the foundation of America. And so if you don't know and you don't have the struggle deep down inside, then how can you possibly side with people who feel it in their soul and know that, hey, I was told, or I know the history that we built this, or we played the major part. You know what I'm saying? So
most definitely.
I think they were brought in as what they call a buffer class to come in between us and white supremacists, because Dr. King, Malcolm X said that if you put cream into coffee, you weaken the coffee, right? So if you got pure FBAs, that's very strong. But if you bring in other people that don't have that lineage and that strength, our strength and power is built into our DNA and our character. We're fighters. We've accomplished a lot of things to build this country, not only to build the country physically, but to build it socially so that it'll be a better place. And we're the main ones that made civil rights an issue back in the 1800s and even up to the 1965, 64 Civil Rights Bill. We're the ones that tried to make America live up to what it's supposed to be.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.